Hi, welcome to Calendar Boot Camp. Calendar is an imported word. Japanese translation is koyomi, but you seldom hear this today. In this boot camp, we will go over the basic calendar months and dates, day of the week, and commonly used terms for dates. Let's get started. Japan has 4 distinct seasons. They are spring, which is March to May, summer, which is June to August, autumn, which is September to November, and winter, which is December to February. Schools and many businesses set April as the beginning of fiscal year. Schools have 3 semesters. First semester is April to July. Second semester is September to December. Third semester is January to March. In general, spring is the cheerful beginning of the fiscal year. Entrance ceremonies held for all schools. Summer is hot and humid, schools are out for the month of August. Autumn is notorious for big appetite because it's a harvest season and weather is very pleasant. Winter can be very cold, and many regions have snow. Now, let's go over month, dates, and day of the week. If you already took Numbers Boot Camp, this will be easier. Repeat after each word so you will be familiar with month, date, and day. Let's begin. Months are straightforward. You add Gatsu behind number 1 through 12.
1月1月2月2月3月3月4月4月5月5月6月6月7月7月8月8月9月9月10月10月11月11月12月12月
Now the dates. Some dates have calendar-specific ways to read, which are day 1 through 10, 14, 20, and 24. Let's go over them first.
1日1日2日2日3日3日4日4日5日5日6日6日7日7日8日8日9日9日10日10日14日14日20日20日24日24日
The rest of the days are all the same. They are number plus nichi. Let's read them aloud.
11日12日13日15日16日17日18日19日21日22日23日25日26日27日28日29日30日31日
Okay. When you are not sure how you say certain dates, it's okay. you can still communicate by using the standard number. For example, May 20th is,
5月20日、
but you can also say,
5月20、5月の20。
For June 3rd, instead of saying,
6月3日、
you can say,
6月3、6月の3。
This is totally fine. When you want to say date only, until you memorize the specific ones for those dates, it's okay to use standard number, plus, nichi behind it. For example, the 3rd of the month is,
3日、
but you can say,
3日、
for the 8th of the month, instead of,
8日、
you can say,
8日、
and for the 9th of the month, instead of,
9日、
you can say,
9日。
Remember, these are temporary remedy, and we encourage you to master all specific cases. Good. Now, let's move on to the day of the week. In Japan, the first day of the week can be Sunday or Monday. Wall calendar usually starts with Sunday, and schedule book starts with Monday for convenience. There is no rule, but if you ask Japanese people to say the 7 days of the week, most people will start with Monday, like this.
月、火、水、木、金、土、日。月、火、水、木、金、土、日。月曜、火曜、水曜、木曜、金曜、土曜、日曜。月曜、月曜、火曜、火曜、水曜、水曜、木曜、木曜、金曜、金曜、土曜、土曜、日曜、日曜。
Next, let's go over some commonly used terms to express specific day or period. Let's assume today is June 16th, 2022. Today, in Japanese is,
今日、今日、
today is June 16th.
今日は6月16日です。今日は6月16日です。
Tomorrow, in Japanese is,
明日、明日。
tomorrow is June 17th.
明日は6月17日です。明日は6月17日です。
You can say,
17、
instead of,
17。
but sichi is easily misheard as ichi, so we recommend using
17。
the day after tomorrow, in Japanese is,
あさって、あさって。
the day after tomorrow is June 18th.
あさっては6月18日です。あさっては6月18日です。
There is a term for 2 days after tomorrow, that is,
しあさって、しあさって。しあさっては6月19日です。しあさっては6月19日です。
yesterday, in Japanese is,
昨日、昨日。
yesterday was June 15th.
昨日は6月15日です。昨日は6月15日です。
The day before yesterday, in Japanese is,
おととい、おととい。
the day before yesterday was June 14th.
おとといは6月14日です。おとといは6月14日です。
2 days before yesterday in Japanese is
先おととい。先おととい。
This is optional because many natives just say 3 days ago instead of this. 3 days ago is
3日前。3日前。3日前は6月13日です。
Let's continue, assuming today is June 16th, 2022. This week in Japanese is
今週。今週。
Next week in Japanese is
来週。来週。
The week after next week in Japanese is
再来週。再来週。
Last week in Japanese is
先週。先週。
The week before last week in Japanese is
先々週。
This term is not used much anymore. People tend to say 2 weeks ago, which is
2週間前。2週間前。
For example, 2 weeks ago Wednesday is
2週間前の水曜日。
This month in Japanese is
今月。今月。
Next month in Japanese is
来月。来月。
Last month in Japanese is
先月。先月。
There are terms to say the month after next month
来来月。
and the month before last month.
先々月。
But most people would just say them using the number. In this example, the month after next month is
8月。
The month before last month is
4月。
The last comes years. This year in Japanese is
今年。今年。
It's 2022 this year.
今年は2022年です。
The next year in Japanese is
来年。来年。
It will be 2023 next year.
来年は2023年です。
Let's go over years all at once. The terms for these 5 years are commonly used. From the top, the year before last year,
おととし。おととし。
the last year,
去年。去年。
this year,
今年。今年。
the next year,
来年。来年。
the year after next year,
再来年。再来年。
Now you know most of the commonly used calendar terms. Let's practice some sentences. Please listen, try to repeat, and answer freely.
今日は何曜日？今日は何曜日ですか？今日は何曜日？水曜日よ。今日は水曜日よ。今日は水曜日ですよ。いつアメリカに行くの？いつアメリカに行くの？多分来年だと思います。多分来年だと思います。来週一緒に買い物に行きましょう。 来週、一緒に買い物に行きましょう。いいですね。じゃあ、来週の火曜日に行きましょう。いいですね。じゃあ、来週の火曜日に行きましょう。数学のテスト、いつだった？数学のテスト、いつだった？来月の15日。金曜日だよ。来月の15日。金曜日だよ。今月は、月曜と水曜と金曜にオフィスにいます。今月は、月曜と水曜と金曜にオフィスにいます。来月も同じスケジュールですか？来月も同じスケジュールですか？
Great job! This is the end of calendar boot camp. From now on, every day, when you look at your calendar, try saying the date aloud in Japanese. There are many ways to express dates. When you are not sure, you can always say the specific date using date and month. See you next time.
Good job!
You did it! This is the end of this challenge. Please take a little break and continue on to the next challenge.
We'll see you soon.